Oh hi! Feeling bored at home? I know how you feel. I'm Jamie. So why not listen to my exciting journey with God? I want to share with you some moments where God guided me and spoke into my situations that changed my life. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. So here we go! The first thing I have to share about with you guys is when I just became a Christian. I remember a few years ago after my major exams, I was feeling really bored. Kind of like how all of us are feeling right now because of the current circuit breaker measures in place. And I was scrolling through Instagram for hours and hours. I saw an Instagram story that my secondary school friend posted about. It kind of looked something like this. It was about church and it looked so fun. So when he invited me for service, I was thrilled and I agreed. When I stepped into service, everything from the atmosphere to the peace that I felt during worship captivated me. And during that service, Pastor Leah shared about how God desires to have a relationship with us. Growing up, having heard about God, I always thought that He was a faraway figure. But that service, God was tugging at my heart. It was a warmth and assurance that I've never felt before. So that day, I decided to become a Christian, and it was the best decision I ever made. The second time when God really spoke to my heart was during follow-up Bible study lessons with my leaders, and this is my follow-up book. As a new Christian, I signed up for these 8 one-on-one lessons so that I can grow closer to God. In one of the lessons, I learned that God is always with me and that I can talk to Him. So I started to pray. Once, I heard God spoke so clearly to me. Jamie, keep growing in me. No matter what, I love you for who you are. And I was sitting just there. I couldn't stop tearing. All this while, I have been trying so hard to gain acceptance from my friends. In school, I made fun of others and tried so hard to prove myself. Even after being selected to be a vice head prefect in school, I thought that I would have many friends and followers on Instagram. But honestly, it was very hard to keep up with this image. What God spoke to me really lifted off a weight off my shoulders. And I know that God loves me for who I am and that I can be secure in Him. If you ask me why I stayed on in church, it is also because of the people. The funniest memory would be when we studied together over Zoom till 3 a.m. and we would watch each other accidentally fall asleep. Once we also had a cook-off together and I became the famous Jamie Oliver. Just kidding, I mean Jamie Tan. They inspire me greatly to grow in my character as well. In the past, I used to be very self-centered. Whenever I had a bad day, I would vent my frustrations on my mom and dad. Even though I felt really bad, but I would just shrug it off. Once in school, my classmates were crying over their bad grades, but all I could say was, life like that, just move on. But my friends in church were so different. They were always encouraging people. I was also inspired to be more like them. Once, I was texting a friend. I found out that she stayed up till very late to finish up her assignment. So the next morning, I decided to get her some snacks. It was a small act, but it definitely went a long way in growing my heart for others. Soon, the friendships around me became less superficial. At home, I also became less short-tempered. On some days, I even did things that I've never done before, which is to help out with house chores. On Mother's Day, I did up a photo frame for my mom, and I wrote down the reasons why I love her. Lastly, a significant moment when God spoke to me was during a service in church. It was through the verse 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4. It says, "Our purpose is to please God, not people. He alone examines the motives of our hearts." I realized that my life was meant to glorify God. All this time, I thought that by spending all my time on volleyball, it would give me the purpose that I was looking for. I made it to the school volleyball team, trained 3 times a week and even won many medals, and here are some of them. And each time I won a medal, I feel very accomplished. But after a few days, the happiness fades away. I wondered, what is the purpose of doing all this for? After all, it didn't really make me truly happy. But when God spoke to me, everything started to click. I am now volunteering in the projection ministry in church. I am also a leader in church, guiding newer Christians in their walks with God. Now, though I may be at home, I am not bored. I spend my time growing closer to God. I also share with my Connect group mates online about my encounters with God. Living a life where God comes with no regrets. My dream is that my friends will be able to live the same way as me too. I have faith that my family will one day be serving God together with me. Today, I want to thank God. From living a life pleasing others, I now find purpose living a life pleasing to God. Right now, though you may be stuck at home, you do not have to be stuck in life. Why not give God a chance to change your life today? Thank you!